Takashi Murakami and Benoit Pagotto, both of whom are extraordinary cross-pollinators who work at the intersection of art and technology while bridging gaps between distinct fields and communities. Takashi Murakami is one of the most celebrated and influential artists of our times. Born in Tokyo in 1962, Murakami is well known for his vibrant and playful art that merges traditional Japanese aesthetics with elements of popular culture and history. His work spans various mediums, including painting, sculpture, films, fashion, and more recently, blockchain technology and NFTs. Murakami's work has been exhibited at museums and institutions across the world, including the Broad Museum in Los Angeles, the Palace of Versailles here in France, and the Guggenheim in Bilbao, Spain. He is a prolific and authentic collaborator, partnering with prominent brands and artists such as Louis Vuitton, Billie Eilish, Virgil Abloh, and of course, Artifact. Benoit Pagotto is the founder of the digital collectibles company RTFKT Studios and the senior director of brand and partnerships at Nike. He is a visionary leader at the forefront of the rapidly evolving world of virtual fashion, NFTs, and augmented reality. Pagotto has a background in advertising design and contemporary art, having completed studies at Beaux-Arts. His creations at Artifact blend cutting-edge technology, luxury fashion, and gaming. They have not only revolutionized the way we define collectibles, but have also opened up a new realm of possibilities for creative expression. I'm also delighted to introduce Yuko Sakata-Bertlis, who will be translating parts of this conversation as needed. She has worked with Takashi for years, providing the insight and management required to bring Murakami's projects and exhibitions to life, including his collaboration with Artifact and his exhibition to open tomorrow at Gagosian Le Bourget, Understanding the New Cognitive Domain. I've had the pleasure of working with Takashi-sama, Benoit-sama, and Yuko-sama on Takashi's New York exhibition, An Arrow Through History, in partnership with Artifact, as well as the upcoming Le Bourget exhibition, Understanding the New Cognitive Domain. It's wonderful to be here today on the eve of this revolutionary exhibition of Murakami's works. Thank you all for being here with me. Welcome. So, Takashi, I know. Takashi, I know you had some slides you wanted to start with.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll kick it off.
Yeah, no. So I ready for the 100 pieces, but you reject. That's what. So this is the first time to came from the maybe Benoit.
It was
right?
me. Yeah.
So the Benoit-sama so gave me the email. So, but I couldn't understand in English. That's why, and then send it to the Yuko. And this is a kind of invitation for the collaboration stuff. But at the moment, I already knew what is Artifact, mostly the famous kind of the AR or something, like a pigeon.
Just staple.
Yes. Yeah, and sneaker something.
With the punk sneakers.
And also the down jacket images.
Yeah.
So when I started to learn from about NFT stuff, immediately the Artifact stuff is coming up. Like this is the future project, and I believed, and I saw first time to their project is, oh my God, this is a future fashion, because at the moment was my kids already started to the Fortnite. It's kind of the skin business is huge. Now is exactly huge, right?
It's still huge, yeah. It's very huge.
That means like avatars fashion is mostly the next level, next in the future. I thought that's why I was mentioned for that. And then gave for me this email, and I was cannot believe that that was the best timing, because that moment was COVID, right? So we cannot go out, and we cannot communication, in the real. That's why, very nice invitation, and the feeling like I'm breathing again, right? So I almost died at the moment, but because at the moment was exactly same time to my company is almost bankruptcy. So the guy is very disappointed. But the newest and very active young people to mention for me, this is a the very big chance for the come back to the raise my motivation.
No, and for us, just to tell our side of the story, because he says it was great for him, it was even more great for us, to be honest, to work with him when we emailed him. And I remember we DM'd you on Instagram because you followed us.
Oh, yeah,
then
yeah,
you said, oh, you need to email Yuko, I don't speak English. and then I did that email. I remember we started to work on the clone project. And what's funny is that we worked, I think, we saw each other for first time at the Gagosian show in New York. So we worked together for like almost 1 year without seeing each other. But for us as well, it's a big part of our story. Like even us on the company side, like we fundraised and we sold the company to Nike all on Zoom. So that's why I think it's very interesting that even if you're completely remote, you can still collaborate and have really interesting conversation and thinking and hard work, because it was a lot of hard work to work together on this project, because we, when he accepted to work with us, I was like, okay, we cannot do some bullshit. We need to be sure it's like the best thing possible. And the back and forth with Takashi and his team and us to work on CloneX was really an amazing experience for us. And it's been, 2.5 years now, something like this, and now we're here today, so it's amazing to see that it's ongoing, more than I think collaboration, it's really a great friendship. And I think when you collaborate with people, it's very important that you respect each other's work. And us, we have an amazing respect for Takashi's work. He's our favorite artist. So when he accepted to work with us, we couldn't believe at the beginning. And so it's good to believe in your dreams. Sometimes it works.
But Ashray, so you already explained yourself, your background, right?
A little bit. I can explain more.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
also
please,
say
please.
that my first time meeting Benoit and Takashi was
Yeah.
in New York last year. Yeah.
Maybe much better to understanding for what is the point of view today's discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been collecting NFTs since 2019. I worked really closely with Takashi and Benoit on the Era Through History show. And I guess in terms of other background, I have a Web3 podcast that I run as well, but really have been involved in the space for a while.
What's the name of the podcast? At least you need
It's
to
called
promote it.
It's called Web3 Wonders. It's just starting though. But anyway, yeah, it's really exciting to be here. And I think what's interesting was that on all of our Zoom calls when we were planning, you guys never turned on your Zoom. So I actually didn't know what you looked like until I saw you in New York.
No, it's true. And as well for the funny stories, like we never really put on our cameras.
And why is that?
I don't know, because that's what we are used to work remotely all the time. So I know the face of Chris and Zaptio, a lot, so we don't need to put on the camera.
Yeah.
And I think it's and me as well. I like it is good to be not judge people on face. So if you manage to work with black screens, you can work with everyone.
Very cool. I think it's interesting because we really aren't accustomed to the video calls until COVID and Zoom. So a lot of times people were fine with conference calls. So I kind of like the analog component of that. So we have some photos of the show. Takashi, if you wanted to talk about them.
Oh, okay. That painting was 2010 maybe, so long time ago. At the moment I was young still, and when that moment was maybe 50, 48, 49 or something, I thought this is a final moment I can do myself to the big paintings. That's why this is not 100% I did the paint, but almost like a 30%, 35%. Very first moment I was paint myself. Because why I started this project was my mentor of the Japanese art historian Nobuo Tsuji. He was telling me, "Oh, Takashi, so you are so lazy guy. It's just offer to your assistant. So your career will be soon done. So say sayonara or something like that. But I was so upset to his reaction, because if I was not touch myself in a painting, but in my head is this is offer seed is my paintings, but he said to disclaim, maybe disclaim is a majority of the claim from the public. That's why, okay, so I was trying to myself, the challenge, and then this is one of the success and the painting, I think. I did myself. And then this is, after 2 years, I started to the Arahat painting. So that style of thing is super new. So this is a kind of the learning, how can I say, the engine was warm, right? Before the start.
Yeah. And we have several monumental paintings at the upcoming show tomorrow. Give you all a sneak peek of some of them here. Here are some of the lucky cats.
Yeah, but yes, that I think, could you show
lucky
me
cat one?
No, it's for a flower painting. So I was,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
shoot the flower stuff. Yes. Oh. When I came to here, I visited at the Orangery. It's a Monet.
Musée de l'Orangerie. Yeah.
So that the museum I love, because this is cannot travel to this painting. So and when I came to Paris, what is art purpose is very linked with sightseeing business. So, and that's why this big painting is, if somebody, some museum, some foundation, some country, bring for the site, so maybe many people can, come to watching this painting. I thought that's why, until now, I'm making for the big paintings. And that was exactly start at the COVID. So I already told you that my company was almost bankruptcy, and also so many museum show was canceled. That's why we have a time, and I still I still employ for the many number of the assistant. That's why okay, so I want to try to my dream, huge painting can do right now. So and then I did kind of that.
Yeah. You have quite a few of these paintings. This one is my favorite on the history of money. And I do have a picture of the smaller history of money painting, but I'm really curious if you could elaborate on why you chose the figures that you chose in this painting. And
Yeah.
I'll go to the smaller one quickly so you can all see.
Oh, yeah. This is a funny story. Yesterday, I found in the interview,
Yeah.
in the radio interview. So I was totally misunderstanding. The original Mike Kelly painting was. So you could explain about the in detail.
Oh, the Mike Kelly. So this was
Yeah,
based
please,
on
please.
another work.
Okay. So yesterday, he's been having all these interviews, press interviews over the past 2 days, and he kept mentioning Mike Kelly's paintings with the portraits of all these criminals, and I'm translating and I'm thinking, I don't think that's quite right, but I didn't have time to go back and really look back. And then during the radio interview, they were recording, and Takashi said that again, it was French, so there was a French translator. And then I had looked up and I said, wait, stop, Takashi, it's all wrong, because it's actually a portrait of these amazing, great, thinkers and writers and art, philosophers that are being
Yeah.
portrayed in Mike Kelly's paintings. And then there are quotes about sort of the nature of madness and creativity, and whether the artist should be above the law, or if the criminals, what they do can be considered creative, or so those really controversial quotes contrasting with one painting done by convicted murderer, right? So that was more, that was the installation, but he thought it was the portrait of
Wait, so are these the criminals in your mind for the history of money?
Yeah,
What about
because
Vitalik?
money is kind of the starting point to the making a war stuff, right? That's why kind of the criminal. It's a kind of the criticize, right? So, but this is the open sea. When I was released to the Murakami flower coin, the flower cat coin or something. This is a head,
The banner.
Yeah, head banner. So I really lovely for this design thing. That's why I want to I want to looking for sometime can make for the Michael style thing. But starting point is completely misunderstood. So, but could you see the kind of the overall painting in the wall?
the mural one.
Yeah, you want to go back to
Yeah,
so we don't have a Mike Kelly one, but we do have the mural in this deck. One more.
Yes. And finally, this is, my favorite painting too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is Ben Franklin on there?
Ben Francoになぜ載っているんですか？
I forgot. It's before when I was making this, it's just checking for the Wikipedia or something. But now I can asking for the ChatGPT, but I forgot about that. But and also my assistant find out.
I think you quoted "time is money" or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Yuko.
Yeah, and he's on the American Money, so that's what I
that's
thought
right.
as
He's on the
well.
dollar.
No, that's George Washington on the
Okay, so
dollar.
I'm not American. Because,
You're right. I don't know who's on the euro. And so Benoit, I have another question for you.
Yes.
So this, kind of going off on some of the misinterpretations of the mural, but I'm just curious actually, if you had to come up with a history of money, who would you put on this? They can be criminals or creative thinkers.
No, but I'm surprised that Takashi didn't put Bernard Arnault.
No. Okay, sorry.
Because he's the richest man in the world
Next
right
time.
now.
Yes. Okay.
He knows how to deal with money and make beautiful things with money.
Makes sense.
So maybe next painting.
Yeah.
They are individual panels. We could slot them in.
Slot him.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Edition.
Last year is number one guy.
Well,
Right?
No, number
Forbes.
one right now. Yes.
Okay. Great.
So Benoit, who would you put on?
Bernard
yours?
Arnault, I would put.
That's it. Okay.
No, but I think it's quite cool. I don't know. I don't understand money too much, but I respect. I think it's quite cool that for French people, the richest man in the world is him, and not a tech person like Jeff Bezos.
Yes,
or Musk.
this is
because him is doing.
incredible.
You can love or hate whatever, but I think what he's doing is very interesting because it's all about the lifestyle, the craftsmanship, and of course huge business and money.
Yeah.
But right now he's the number one in the world, right?
Yes.
So respect. Yeah.
Yes, great.
That's super interesting, that point about craftsmanship, because with both of you, Takashi, with your show in New York, you took NFTs and turned them into physical paintings. And with Artifact, Benoit, a big part of what you guys do is the forging process, which is redeeming a digital NFT for a physical equivalent in some ways. And so I'm curious, is this physical digital hybrid something that's just to help people conceptually understand the value of digital art and digital goods, or is the hybrid model really here to stay, and that's what you're aiming for?
It depends, because the thing is, NFTs and digital art and all of that for a lot of people is completely alien, right? And it's very, very hard for people to understand something that is completely alien to them. And so when we started, we always thought, even though I'm a huge believer of that, virtual worlds and digital life is taking more and more space in your life. Me, for example, in the past weeks, I spent more time in Zelda than in my real life. This is true, 135 hours. It's very good. You always need to give something that people are familiar with in order to slowly get them to understand maybe the bigger vision you have.
Yeah.
And I really like, and when we created Artifact, and I love that Takashi, when he turned, what we did digitally and brought it, it's not only the medium, right? It's you bring it to another environment, like the Gagosian in New York, a real art show with you and Larry, all of that. I'm really a big believer of how you merge things together, and I think especially now because of, or thanks to internet, like people are used to remix everything. So us, we also mix real and virtual together. And for the shoes, it was always making sense because there is, of course, I think sneakers are a collectible. People trade them. And like Takashi's got these ones. I knew he was gonna wear this one. I want to wear the same one, so I got some other Nikes today. Because always it's weird to wear the same shoes. But I think it's very important, especially if you want to get people to understand the beauty of digital collectibles, that you need to get them something they are familiar with, and we still need, we still live, in the real world day to day. We still eat real food. We still walk on the, in the streets. Right. So I think it's great to mix together, even though I think we go towards a lifestyle where maybe whether you like it or not, you're gonna have more like 80% of your life digitally, 20% physically. But what's important is what you do physically. You do it really, really, really well and with really good quality. And I think we need to stop everything that is mass-produced, and that's why I love craftsmanship and all these stories, because I think we can go back to having less physical things, but of very, very high quality. That the story, you almost know who made it, and then you can do a lot of your, degen stuff online, and a lot of your as well scenes online, and you have maybe a more natural, healthy life offline.
Yeah, no, it totally changes the consumptive paradigm to move consuming things to purely digital. And speaking of very high quality items, we have the shoe that Takashi is wearing here. I know you guys collaborated on it, so curious to the both of you, what was it like to kind of make this together, and if you could walk me through the process.
It's a long process. No, but I think for us, because we work with Takashi, then after we got acquired by Nike, and the project we did together, we keep on making it evolve, because that's one of the cool things with digital projects, is you can update them. It's not static, and we always wanted to continue to spawn things from that project. And we wanted these avatars to be able to spawn some fashion items. And since we were at Nike, we thought, okay, it's a great opportunity to do something with the clone DNAs and of course with Takashi. And so we did 2 shoe designs with him. Also, it was his first Nike collaboration, which was quite iconic and important. Really happy of what we did recently in Tokyo. We did with Gaisai, the show he does for the young upcoming artists. At the same time, we did an event. We displayed the shoes. We did a crazy 3D screen in Tokyo that was like, honestly, I'm super happy with the result. It was amazing creative artworks we put on there. So it's always I think what's great with how we work together is like we always try to come up with new things. I think he's even more crazy than us in terms of wanting to do things new and keep on pushing boundaries, and us, we're always open to these ideas, and we're lucky that he's always open to our ideas as well. So it's, again, like I think collaboration with Takashi, it's one of the smoothest thing you can do, because I think we have the same will to push things and continue to do exciting things. So it was very smooth to do. And now, they are here and are crazy shoes. Whoa. So very happy about that.
Those are cool. Very fresh. Not a lot of wear in them yet, but. So Takashi, what about your perspective? What was it like to make the shoes? What's it like to work with Artifact?
Oh yeah. It's he talking about the craftsmanship, but what is a fantastic thing with collaboration with the Artifact was the communication way, because I'd been long time to the making for the fine art in teamwork stuff, but one hand is I believe myself my way is correct, but the one hand is many people ask me are you making for the painting or something? It looks like a Walt Disney have a same complex. He couldn't drawing for the Mickey Mouse. So kind of that. But the artifact communication was using for the 2D plus 3D data. So our studio have animation studio also, and our team was the 5 people or making for anytime constantly making for the 3D data stuff. And that's why, so we can making for the very smooth communication with artifact. And it's kind of the, the creativity is just, making for something, people, thinking. Mostly the art school people, like include me when I was young. So, but right now is, what is a creative thing is, the communication. So because what is the biggest turning point was the collaboration with Artifact was starting for the ChromeX project. Another after the 3 months, 4 months, one day is I saw the Instagram. I was shocking because Artifact versus Nike is, joined. So what? So because
we are not allowed to say that.
Yeah. So and because I was believed the Artifact is what is the greatest thing is independent, but same time to the why so that these guys have to sell for the stock or some join something. So, but after one year now, 2 years?
1 year and a half.
Yeah. So the crypto winter is coming. Oh, these guys is cool. It's they watching to the future, right? But exactly, I can imagine for the how difficult the negotiation with Nike company itself. So the also the Yuko and us, anytime to negotiation with a collaboration company and the museum, any collaboration company or people is to go through the lawyer and making for the one by one to making for the communication and the Artifact guys. This guy, the Nikhil, gatekeeping for the company in the money flow and kind of contract stuff. It's kind of the teamwork is most important, I think, in the future, more than now, because people not too much afraid about the AI stuff, right? So, but the AI is exactly just a tool, like the mostly. The important thing is editing. Edit for the. So how many different something to how make editing and also the how prepare with kind of the law stuff, right? There's a kind of copywriting, how many percentage from the internet, blah blah blah. So in the future, so if AI creative is have a big struggle, maybe. So, but newest thing is anytime making for the struggle. So how we will clear for this barrier is teamwork, right? So the Benoit making for the nice team to the Artifact, and then we did the not nice team, but we had a team. That's why teamwork versus teamwork, and we making for the very smooth communication. And we did the breakthrough project, I thought, right? So, and when I was started to the collaboration with the Artifact, I was so proud of myself, like at this, past 10 years. So because just I was not believe myself, too much spend the money to employee. So why? So I have to make it for the 3D stuff. And, cannot understanding myself, but I'm crazy. But, very smooth right now, right? So.
No, and to add to what he said, I think it's very important because when you're in a big corporation or you become a big business, there's a lot of complexities. And I think that's what we really try to continue to do with Takashi is how do we keep it simple as almost friends working together, and you try to, the complexity sometimes you don't need it, but and we did it with it differently. But again, I am a huge believer that what's most important, and especially if you have AI, but I think you have questions on that later, but the core people of your team, who you surround yourself with, is the most important because it's together you can achieve amazing things. Even us, like we did a lot of what we achieved with Artifact with a super small team. I think when we got acquired we were 12. We did most of the work with 5. And even if AI is taking over, etc., like we are still, it's important you really curate. The first thing you curate is the human beings you work with.
Yeah.
And I think when you're in a creative business, it's very important that you need business people, of course, to deal with it, but their job is to make sure that the creative one can still, do what they dream of. And I think so far we still manage. It's not easy every day, but it's very exciting to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've described your collaboration with Takashi as authentic in one of the words, and I think that resonates across kind of everything that you guys do together.
No, but it's not even, it's super authentic. We're very, when we have an idea, we just send him. It's amazing to work with Yuko as well. She's the best. And I think to me it's very important. I'm someone who really, I always say what I think.
Yeah.
And if I don't feel someone or I think it's not working, there's no point.
Yeah.
And I think we're in a moment in time where us were so lucky to work with Takashi, who was like such an amazing artist. And again, not only in the fine art world, but I respect a lot, not only that he's a genius and has amazing artistry knowledge and all of that, but also he really understood, I think he's one of the contemporary artists that really understood that it's more about culture and the youth. He's not doing things for a small elite, he's doing it for a broader, base of people and thinks about the future. And us working together, we have, I think, a really good flow. And again, like every time we work with Takashi or other partners, we always try to keep it authentic because otherwise you can tell at the end when you put out the art or the product, if it's not coming from a real passion or authentic place, people can tell. So it's, and also me, I love to have fun when I work.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more fun when you don't lie. Yes.
I agree. So, Takashi, you mentioned briefly using AI as a tool, and I'm curious to talk a little bit more about that. I do have a slide. Eventually, it may show up, but I typed in a prompt into DALL-E, which was... I did show it to you already.
We need to pretend we're surprised.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
Too much
actually, I
rehearsal.
added a second one that you haven't seen because I wanted to surprise you.
Okay. Great.
But eventually, the powers that be that control the screen will show it.
Yeah.
But what I will describe is putting in DALL-E, Takashi Murakami and Benoit Pagotto in Paris having a talk, and it spat out some really funny images. And so I'm curious. Takashi, you've mentioned that you use AI very briefly and early in the creative process, but I'm curious, will it always be just a tool for kind of like the initial ideation, or is there more to it?
Yeah. This is, another thing is the Benoit is great because he found a very nice the AI designer, who is it? 852. 852. That lady is the Japanese AI Twitter designer. So, and when he came to Japan, so he immediately meet with her. So because she is a very secret people. But he could meet, and then, hey Takashi, if you have interested in to contact with her, so I can introduce to. So French people introduced to me Japanese people. So, but and
Global
then
world.
so this the prompt engineer is now consulting my company right now. So and every day our team is question to her and answer question and answer and making for the prompt and making for how mix with the software. So now is every day is very enjoying the young people like my team. So because so many discover we can do. So but you know I very remember about I was 28, 29. So Macintosh came to for the public. Apple II was huge impact. And my very young friend bought that, and then immediately he got the job. So 19 years old, the name is designer. Okay. And another 2 years later, so old school designer was kind of the give up. So it's kind of the change for the the generation. So maybe in the near future, so many character designer or some kind of the, how can I say, the movie industry or game industry, it's a image, illustrator thing is maybe change everything.
Yeah.
So, this is.
Yeah, that's
this is. Okay, so this is the one that you have seen, but I have a surprise one for you, which is the next one.
the hand is.
Do you have a favorite out of the 4? I kind of like the second one. Those are new.
You need AI for the slides, I think, Ashley.
I know. Well, so one thing that we wanted was the mix of old and new. So we've got our old auditorium and our new art that we're talking about. But I'm curious, Takashi, what are some of the questions that you ask your new AI person?
Oh, no. So I'm just, watching.
Just watching.
Back to the, my team people is, just asking for my employee.
Yeah.
And, please asking for that. I never touch myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Benoit, what are your thoughts? Tool or something else for artists?
No, I think it depends. It's very hard to judge again like what implication it's gonna have. I think for art, I think it's really amazing in a sense that it's because making art is very hard. To go to a school like this is very hard, and a lot of people they think that they are not creative and they think, oh, I'm not creative. And now it's a tool that is quite easy to access, that you prompt with text.
Yeah.
Then you can do a lot more, complicated things with feeding models, stable diffusion, all these type of things. But for sure, it's a tool that now is in the hand of a lot of people. And me, I use it for different reasons, not for art, more for text. But I think it's amazing. I think it's really going to be groundbreaking because a lot of people who used to have ideas or maybe great concept ideas but could never materialize them or visualize them.
Yeah.
To me, AI is like an amazing intern. It's better than most interns I have in my life, honestly. It's like fast, no complaining, it's working 24 hours. But no, I think it's an amazing tool for sure. And I think as Takashi said, I think the next thing, it's gonna create new type of profiles like prompt artists, because it's an art to do the prompts, how you dialogue with machines to make the machines do what you want. And then after you're gonna need to be really good at curation, because you have so much output coming every day. And yeah, I love to use Midjourney, but the thing I love to do on Midjourney actually is, because it's on public channels on Discord, and I love to see what people ask Midjourney to do.
Yeah.
It's very, because it's public, right? So you see some people are making some logos, some people are making some family things, some dog thing. And I think it's very interesting because it's the early days, but to see what people are using and this thing to do, you can tell sometimes, is it for entertainment, is it for their business, is it for an assignment for school? And I love the fact that it's the early days, because this technology has been around for a while, but not available to the public. And now I think we're lucky I'm very, very curious to see how people adopt it and for what use case. And whether you like it or not anyway, like you need to be able to understand what it can do for you, because it's inevitable. It's gonna be a thing that people use every day. And I can't wait to see, what kids do with it. Because, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, Mickey Mouse, you need to wait for the new things that you like, but soon they'll be able to make their own movies or like make Mickey Mouse do things that Disney would never allow.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be very interesting to see. And as well, I think as usual, the porn industry is gonna do really great things. So I think it's the beginning of a huge creative revolution, but where there's a whole part of the population that was never touching creativity are going to be able to be a part of it, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunities there, and don't think it's bad or the devil, especially if you're in art. It's going to become a part of your day-to-day process, and you can even consider it as a great assistant, So maybe after you don't need 300 employees, you need just people who are teaching the AI to help you do this. I don't know yet, but the artist Takashi was talking about, we are both following on Twitter, and I love that Takashi is always, and I'm always impressed with this, he's always on top of the next thing all the time, and he's really good at spotting talent. And me, I'm good to talk to the talent, so it's a good combo.
Dream team.
Yes.
Yeah, but looks like Joseph Kossus, right? It's
conceptual.
Making for the canvas, for the prompt.
Yeah.
And then people, oh, this is beautiful, looks like that, right? The prompt, the painting I want to see.
Yeah, but it's coming for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
This is incredible.
Concept, yes.
It's makes sense, maybe.
Yeah, no, it is interesting, kind of this idea of being able to see what everyone is searching on AI, because it's almost like machines are a mirror for the rest of what people are looking at and thinking about.
It's like you have access to a little window on their brain, right? When you see what they're generating, or what's the thing they have to do in their life, or and you can tell if people are doing it as well because they need to deliver a specific thing for their job, or if people are just playing around. Me, I love to spend time and check what people do. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Well, what I think I hear coming up with NFTs and with AI is this idea of ownership, right? There's authenticity and then there's ownership. And with AI, it's a little bit different because it's about the ownership of the idea, kind of like the Joseph Kossus works. It's who owns the concept, and is that the art, or is the output that's assisted by AI the art itself? But I think we'll have lots of questions and legal disputes about ownership with AI as well. And speaking of other innovative technology, I like this saying someone once told me. I don't know if it's true or not, but basically when the video camera came out, people started taking videos of plays. Like, the concept of making a movie was too foreign to even think about. And so I'm curious, now that we have some new technology like the Apple Vision Pro, are we thinking about the metaverse? Are we thinking about mixed reality in the right ways? Or what is actually the potential of this type of technology?
You want me to start if you want? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want both of your guys' opinions.
No, I mean, me, I watch like everyone the conference. As well, I'm a big Apple fanboy.
Yeah.
I check all the patents they do on the website macromorse.com since 10 years. And so it's been years I was waiting to know, because us at Artifact, we always use augmented reality as part of our aesthetics, because we always wanted, we always believe that the future world is going to be a world where things are mixed up, and when you can augment with crazy things, actual physical places and physical clothes or persons. And I was really waiting on them to finally deliver their vision, and because they're never the first one, but when they do it, they do it the right way. And I had a lot of expectations, and they totally blew my expectations when I saw the conference the other day. And I think it's the very, very early days of a future, again, that I was always expecting to arrive, that might scare a lot of people, but again, like it's gonna happen, that future, whether you like it or not, you cannot stop it. And for now, it's huge, it's gonna get smaller and smaller, but I really, I was very impressed by what they did, because everything was about VR before, and there was the problem of more that dystopian image of, the famous Mark Zuckerberg image in the conference with everyone and him walking. So I think Apple nailed it because first the presentation, like, it was very, very good taste. The girl was wearing, cool, I don't know what's the fashion brand, but like she looked like a futuristic type of.
It was she. It was definitely she.
PHX, right?
Yeah, it's cool. And the fact that they really positioned it as a mixed reality device, I think, is really the way to go. Also to, again, like, that's what I was saying before with the familiarity, because people are familiar with seeing people's eyes. They thought about something where you can still see eyes. They thought about when you're immersed fully, you have a cool, holographic kind of glow that tells you, okay, this guy is busy in another world. So they thought about all these very, very smart design things that I think companies like Oculus didn't think about, and that's where Apple, I think, is so ahead, because they really have amazing, craftsmanship, but for extremely complex products. I think there's 18 cameras in that headset,
Wow.
but they have that design sense that, they can start to make it accepted by a broader public and make it blow up. So I think for us, as soon as I saw that, I texted and said, I want a dev kit, and we really want to try it out ASAP. And I think that's, whatever type of field you're doing, you should start to think about how you build for this and how you can think of experiences for your business or your artworks to live in this type of mixed reality world, because it's coming. And finally, I think Apple is opening the doors to say that it's coming. It's still niche for now, because it's an expensive device more for developers, but that's gonna be, I can't wait to try it out. Yeah, if you get the plug, you let me know. Yes.
You'll be the first to know, but you definitely will get it before I do. And Takashi, what are your thoughts?
Steve Jobs is not here. That's why, this is super bad design, I thought. Because, the mask, right? Mask is already, everybody hate that. Why so the people can, keep this headset? So how many hours can do? I cannot do that maybe. It's maybe, like, if Steve Jobs arrive now, so super upset. What is that?
Oh, Benoit, what do you think about
I'm
that?
not sure. I think it's very hard, and I don't know, but for sure.
This is a reality. I understand. Reality. Oculus and looks like a Google something. Google. What is that?
Google
Glass.
Yeah.
It's step by step, and now is like
now
you.
That's the prehistorical version of the stuff.
This is kind of the what is that? The mobile used to the.
Oh, the Sidekick, T-Mobile?
Oh, BlackBerry. This is a BlackBerry, right? So Apple making for the BlackBerry. So this is the design thing. It's it's like Apple need a genius somebody, right? So the Steve Jobs and who is that the designer?
Johnny Ive. Yeah, he left as well. Yeah.
That's why.
That's why it looks like
this.
this.
So I cannot wearing for this that. But in the technological thing, it's I never know that this has a 10 camera. This is
18.
18. Wow. So like him, like professional people is wow, right? But like me, is amateur people is what? It's looks like a Kamen Rider or something. Like Japanese, like Power Ranger or something. It's like a ski or something. So, but maybe like a starting point. This is right.
I think it's the very, very early days. Like, it's gonna take 10 years, but
So, but the advertising this costume is Steve Jobs said no. Right?
No, they went.
I love the Steve Jobs too much. That's why. This is my generation, right?
Yeah.
But I think finally, so design thing is come back to the Dragon Ball, the Scouter.
Yeah.
So this is one of the goal, right? So it's a kind of the Vegeta making.
The Dragon Ball Z.
Power on 9%. Yes.
So this is a goal. But because Google Glass looks like that.
It
right?
was like this. Yeah, true. Yeah.
That design was, I love that.
Yeah.
By the way.
I don't know, maybe contact lenses,
But
something
that's the
small.
ultimate thing,
right?
Yeah. Eventually. I mean, I think what's cool about this is I wear glasses and they've thought about wearing them with glasses, which I appreciate. So I think we are coming up on time. It's been a really lovely conversation, but I want to open it up to questions. So I think based on the timing, we could probably take one or two if anyone has any questions for you guys.
Everyone is hot, they want to have time.
Yes, we'll have someone, so we have two questions. Julian will bring the microphone over.
Should I talk in English? English?
Yeah, English, I think.
I try to. Just thank you for being here. And I'm a student here in Beaux-Arts de Paris. It's my first year, and I just discovered art last year because I came in Paris last year. I'm from Tahiti, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I also discovered your art last year. I am a huge fan, by the way, and I just wanted to talk about, this kind of healing. This way, when you talk about the arts painting, you also talk about healing, and in French Polynesia there were also nuclear atomic bombs, and I'm also interested that's why I'm also interested in your work. And I had a question like, do you know if it's possible this day to talk about destruction, annihilation, and also healing with art? I don't know if my question is clear or,
Yeah.
多分ちょっと分からなかったんですけど、多分原爆の話とかもされますけれども、今の時代にそういう破壊とか完全破壊とかの話をしつつ、かつ癒しについてアートの中で語るってことは可能でしょうか。
How do you think? I
I
don't
know,
know.
but it's you.
Yeah, okay. So basically, it's recently, yesterday and 2 days ago, I have a lot of questions from the interviewer. So, but everybody forget, I am 61 years old. I am old guy. It's my imagination is limitation, but young people is anytime too angry and kind of the breaking something. The passion is mostly important. Doesn't necessary to keeping for the healing stuff, I think. So I getting old. That's why I told to the healing, because I already gave up to my life. So that's why. So how do you think, Benoit? You're young, right?
No, but I mean, to me, you can with art you should be able to talk about whatever you want, and that's the most important. And nuclear destruction, all of that. Like, you should not have any constraint on what subject you want to talk about, and no constraint on what medium you want to use to talk about it. So me, I'm all for, again, like as you said, like what's your guts telling you, what's your passion, and you can always tell, like, if something is genuine or really coming from the deep thinking you have, that's genuine, people will interact with it well, and you can tell if it's fake. So no limitation for art.
Great.
Thank you. We have one more question. I think maybe we have two very quick questions, if possible.
Thanks. I will be really brief. First, thanks for this great conversation we just had. I know both of you have a great work ethic, and as a young artist, I sometimes have struggled by delegating tasks to other people. I wanted to know, how do you manage to keep that energy in your ambitious project while working with other people?
To me, the most important is you need the good people. And these people, they need to me, what I love is when I come up with something and we discuss with our team, and I love to be surprised. And you can only get surprised if you work with people who are better than you, who are like really, or do things that you cannot do. And to me, it's the best. I love to work with people who are geeks or specialists of stuff I'm not, and how we all combine this together to make something I could never do on my own. But I'm not an artist, right? So it's different. But the most important is, again, that's what we talked about earlier, is who do you surround yourself with, and then how you treat them. Of course, you need to treat them well. But mainly, you need to surround yourself by people that inspire you as well. And delegating is fine, but me, I can delegate, but I love when I delegate something and I get something completely different, a lot better than I expected. That's the best feeling.
Me? Oh.
Yeah, you.
This question guy is who
Yeah,
made
he did this.
one, right?
It's your work.
Maybe you will making for the more bigger piece. It's looks like that scale of thing. So when you making for the just you understanding for the your maximum power, and then one day so you will give up maybe, or never give up. So that you have to try to your potential yourself, and then if you have to you need a help to somebody, so came from the reality. And you can say some real voice to friends, to somebody, right? So, but the artist, mostly important thing is, mostly the young time, to please making for the, maximum. This is still small, so you can make it much bigger, right? I love big paintings. I love big sculptures. That's why. Because understanding for the I am very poor people. So that moment is can meet with myself, right? So try to making for the big something, KFC, right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Already working on it.
We have one question down here first. And then maybe we can do one more.
Hi, thank you again for the talk. And I think I'm the only non-art person here. I'm more on the tech side. So for me, what's interesting is how you've had such a successful art and tech collaboration. And my question is, what is the advice you have for tech building a stronger foundation within art? Because I can see art really thriving under the Web3 umbrella. So what is some of the advice you give to interconnect the two seamlessly, as you seem to have done?
Again, it's like how you mix people that usually don't hang out together. I think that's what I love the most. So I think art, they need more tech, and tech, they need more artists, right? So it's how, and again, I think what's cool is the new generation, they're all growing up, learning a lot of things on the internet, and they are used to mix things together that are not supposed to be mixed. So I think next generation is going to be a lot better at this. But again, it's how you get people that normally their life path or their school or their career, they're not supposed to meet. And me, I love to make them meet, right? So that's how you make this connection is how you make things that are exciting and new, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, one last quick question up at the top.
It's very quick.
Okay, perfect. Any alpha?
Of course, that question is coming.
We knew it was coming.
The alpha is enjoy the moment. That's it. What's coming up on your NFT project?
次やってることは何ですか？次や NFT。
Yeah, okay.
Amazing.
What is that?
No, but that's something we work. It's not alpha, it's out there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work on new project with Takashi as well. With Animus, yes.
That's some alpha.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you again, Yuko, Takashi, and Benoit. Thank you. Sorry, I got it. And we have a really exciting opening of Takashi's works tomorrow at Le Bourget. We showed some of them briefly.
Yes.
Yeah. And
He's coming.
Okay, maybe this isn't alpha per se, but we have an exciting thing for everyone in this room. We do have a shuttle that is going to be going from Gagosian's Rue de Pontieu Gallery to Le Bourget tomorrow. We have 50 spots available, and signups are online. So if you're interested in going, I suggest signing up quickly because space is limited. Thank you guys again.
See you tomorrow.